All right, what do we got here? First position. I have been incredibly busy recently, and I apologize on the effect that that's had on my upload schedule. I'm flying basically every day I'm not working, and tomorrow, in which I'm doing neither of those things, I am babysitting Haley. So, um, I'm not getting paid a ton to babysit her, but I'm her uncle, so I guess I probably should. This could be a Paul game. Scientific breakthrough, two good fives. I think this is a Paul game actually. My problem is Helena's getting picked, so like I have to work around that fact, which is not great. But I mean, the ring's only gonna get so many cards. I'll be fine, I think. The attacks are cool, but they're just slightly outside of the range of Beast. I think the correct play here is Hundro. Hundro is like the strong pick. I'm gonna play Paul. I always lose on Paul in this expansion, but um, we'll. I mean, you gotta win with him sometime, right? We got five. We got no signet ring, and we got no access to card draw unless we're wealth mentatting, which we probably shouldn't do. The skirmish is a faction bump, which is okay. Um, this is tough. We have reconnaissance on top, so if we went like experimentation, hollow projectors, we could drop the Seek allies. Get to 6 persuasion. 6 is not a meaningful amount. Does move us closer to the second experimentation, possibly to the breakthrough. There's something to be said there. This is kind of a situation where I don't know if I want to... I don't think I want to Wealth Mentat. I think I do want to reveal early. The problem with Wealth Mentat is I basically just hand Swordmaster to Beast. I could smuggle, but then I'm probably not smuggling again for a long time. So... I mean, Smuggle Wealth is pretty competent. And it doesn't keep me at 5, though. So that's the problem with smuggling. I think we open Wealth here. We can flex into Mentat if we want to. But, like, going Fold Space is pretty pointless, I think. Because we're not going to be able to win the combat. We just don't have the second faction to go hardy. We don't have city access. So, if we could win the combat, I would say, open Fold Space is good. The problem with going Wealth Mentat here is we're kind of gifting the Swordmaster to Beast, but there's really not, like... We have to do what's best for us, and I don't know that, like... I don't think single smuggling is best for us here. Basically, of the 4 leaders in this game, we're the one that's probably the worst at getting our Swordmaster. We run a risk that someone takes Tech Negotiation. I don't think that's going to happen. I think Fold Space, Hardy Warriors are too valuable. Still Suits is, yeah, also pretty good. So, yeah, so I think we go Tech Negotiation here. It's the only play that lets us get Esmar. Esmar and Thufir famously are the 2 cards I think are the best Paul cards in the game. So, of course, I had to pick him in this situation. And with the Hollow Projectors in the row, it's got to be Esmar. So, we could Mentat, though. I almost think it's better to keep the money. No, it's not like we're Armand, Like, okay, we draw the Reconnaissance. Why do we care? Reconnaissance is good for getting in the combat. Puts us to 6 persuasion, so like, okay, we can play an experimentation to a spice space, I guess. But that's not that much better than just going to Tech Negotiation, which I think is what I would do here. And keeping the 2 Solari is quite important. So our goal basically is to try to draw into Esmar early enough to for him to help me get an earlier Swordmaster. That's our goal here. We also want to draw back into experimentations to get the scientific breakthrough. This is a dead card, so we're all fighting for the same thing, unfortunately. And Leto could go research station with his 2 water. I don't think he will. But it is an interesting question as to what he'll do. But yeah, I think there's a few factors that make Paul a good pick here. Doesn't mean... No! Helena, you tramp. So I guess we do Thufir plus Assassination Mission, and we try to hit Selective Breeding next round. The problem is that we don't have any spice. If we had been in the combat, that would be a good play. But without the Esmar, we just don't have a very good path to getting the amount of Solari we need. So we take Thufir. Chom Delegate's probably better. It's technically one fewer Solari to trash, but the long-term value of the card is stronger, and we basically have the advantage of not having someone else have it. So, and we can draw it round 2. So Helena's going to end up getting Interstellar Shipping, which is interesting, from 3rd position. It's a very uncontested combat. I'm surprised nobody went Hardy. Helena had something that was basically just a different version of Hardy, so that makes sense. Leto instead chose Still Suits. I don't know about that play myself. I guess he was trying to get Haga Basin with his ring, and that was kind of the goal there. And then Beast just didn't have faction. And I didn't go Hardy Warriors because it's like, well, Hardy Warriors on its own is not going to do me any good if I can't get Fold Space. And I only get one. Like, if I had double faction, I think I would have gone, like, Fold Space first action, Hardy second, but I didn't have that option. This is a pretty strong combat. We ought to try to participate. Beast hits Smuggling again. The advantage here is that he is going to cash out and give us our 3rd Solari. So if we could get a Conspire somehow, we would set ourselves up pretty decently. Now, the path to that is basically Still Suits, Great Flat. I don't know if I want to do that. I guess, you know, the alternative here... could do like Haga Basin with Signet Ring. I don't think we actually want to go selective anymore. The Chom Delegate thing is cute, but it only gets us to 6. And then we lose the Chom Delegate, which is a pretty good card. Better is to play the ring and have a decent chance to draw him, I think. We're not getting the Swordmaster this round anyway, so drawing him for the Solari is not slower than anything else, really. So we're just going to do Diplomacy to Still Suits, Signet Ring to Great Flat. Is that our plan right now? Or would we rather go Diplomacy to Wealth, go to 5, and do like Signet Ring to Arakeen? We have a 1/3 chance to draw the Delegate. That's not that good. That gets us to 8, but that's only a 1/3 shot. I guess if we draw Thufir, though, we get an Intrigue, which is also pretty good. Still Suits lets us deploy. But so does Arakeen. But Arakeen's not going to win us the combat. Nobody has 2 water. Like, they can't stop us from taking Great Flat. If we do this, we draw 1 card. We draw more cards doing this. I think we're going to do the Wealth play. Because if we can draw... So basically there's a few good cards. Like, Delegate is the best, but Thufir is good too. And Experimentation gets us the Scientific Breakthrough. So I think it's overall good. It also shuffles the deck with this as a subset, which is pretty strong. Convincing Argument is not amazing, but it could get us something good with a Detonation, depending on what the other players buy. We are last, so we don't know what that's going to be. So, the only bad card to draw would be Dagger. Dagger would be the worst, for sure. Because if we draw a Dagger, we basically have a deck without green in it. And then we also don't draw Persuasion, we don't draw Solari, we don't draw Intrigues. It's okay if we draw, like, if we draw Dagger plus Delegate, that's fine. That's acceptable. Because then we have a 4-card deck. Sure doesn't have green in it, but now we have enough for Swordmaster. And on the rest of our deck is mostly green, so we're probably fine. There's no way this guy goes to Arakeen right now. So, I don't think any of them have shuffled. So, none of them can... Helena has. She has 2 specimens. Oh, because she bought the, Fervor? No, she didn't. Who bought the Fervor? Leto. So Leto's gonna have 3, right? Yeah, he's gonna have 3. So we're not gonna get the Scientific Breakthrough. Either way, I think Arakeen is the play here. Experimentation's good. It's just a little late. Convincing. Okay, so we get to 5, which is a magic number. We still have the green in our deck next turn. We have the Delegate. If we could get to, like, Selective, we could trash the Delegate out of hand and get to 8. Seems a little bit far-fetched, and Beast is kind of yanking our chain right now. So there's no point in going to 3. We can't win. But 2, we probably are in a good spot. 2 waters is always going to be useful. I don't know what he's doing. Like, why go double smuggling round 1 if you're not going to go Swordmaster? Like, he did that and then he went to... I guess he had yellow and green on the Signet Ring, and so he couldn't do both. But if that's the case, why even go smuggling there? So Leto should get the breakthrough. He might not, but he is what he ought to do. He's guaranteed to have access to it. So now we have to ask ourselves if Embedded Agent is better than Stilgar. I think it's not. We don't have any Bene Gesserit stuff going on. I mean, we would be flooded in intrigues. Okay, so he buys the breakthrough, which is a bummer. Does Carino Genes like bail us out here? I mean, it gets us 1 Solari away. It basically means if anyone cashes out, we get Swordmaster. The problem is that next round we're not getting a Swordmaster anyway, because Beast just gonna beat us to it. So I think Carino Genes is actually just a bait here. Like, yeah. Like, Beast goes last, but it doesn't matter. The odds of him not drawing green are insignificant. And he's going to do it on his first action. So I think we should go like the movie and get Stilgar. There is another Bene Gesserit card here that synergizes with the agent. I'm not convinced that's going to work. And you don't, like, this card's amazing, but not with Thufir, because if you get too many intrigue cards, you can cause problems. So I think Stilgar is actually the play here. Oh, Replacement Eyes, my beloved. Oh, you would have been so good with Carino Genes. Should I buy the Carino Genes to deny the other player? I think with the Replacement Eyes now I do, because if Helena buys these, then she can beat me to Swordmaster next round. By next round, I mean round 4. So I'm going to buy the Carino Genes. And hey, I mean, it's Emperor access at the end of the day, right? I mean, we don't want to go to Emperor, but get those Replacement Eyes, hey, it's not too bad. Okay, so there's our Delegate. So Helena's actually going to take us to 8 by the looks of it. So we're actually going to get to nudge in ahead of Beast. I hadn't considered that. Yeah, okay. Well, that's unfortunate for Beast. Helena will also get her Swordmaster this round because she's Helena. So basically everybody wins and Beast loses, essentially. I guess Leto also loses because Leto was supposed to get his Sword Master next round, and now he can't because Beast is going to go before him. But we do this for sure. Getting that round 3 Sword Master, I mean, Helena just kind of bailed us out here. So now the question is, do we, like, play the Delegate? I would say that the Delegate's reveal is pretty good. Reconnaissance on top. We have 3 water. We should head towards the Great Flat. But Beast also has a bunch of water. But he also has a bunch of spice. So, like, it's not that valuable for him. Oh god, Helena has holo projectors. That is like a 5-alarm fire, actually. That's so bad for us. Is that game over? That she has that? Like, I think it actually might be. The techs are all very good, so going to Great Flat definitely, I think, is a good play. The problem is if we go to Great Flat, we can't actually get the techs. We don't have the green. So we could go like Thufir to Great Flat, draw Reconnaissance, and then Reconnaissance and like take that to Arakeen, hopefully. I don't know. I'm not in love with it. Beast's play here to High Council, I think, was the right one. Yeah, this is going to be a problem. She's already 11 Solari. Good god. She gets 2 spice out of that. That was supposed to be me! Oh my god, okay. This is why you don't play Paul in a Helena game, by the way. Because she will just kind of trample over everything that you want to do. Well, the spice is still available, and I think I should take it. I think we go Thufir to Great Flat. Suppose we could go to Research Station, but what's the point now that the Research Placement Eyes are gone? Like, I don't see the value anymore to doing that. The spice is much more likely to compound value for us. Carino Gene's on top. Okay. So basically going to Arakeen is not going to get us to 5. Although I don't know that 5 matters that much now anyway. Leto's out, so we can pretty safely put in 2 troops here. We could buy the beguiling pheromones and try to use it with the Carino genes on the logic that like it is graft for the Scarab, and a power play to Emperor is not bad. You only need to use that Carino genes once, and you can get it out of the deck. And after that, we have Thufir for it. So I actually think this is a decent card in our situation. I mean, I still think this card is like kind of bad, but I think we're in a situation where it is better than buying Scarabs, probably. Might we consider going to selective just for the sake of it? Maybe. It increases our odds of getting the beguiling. We don't have an immediate application for the spice. We could go to a city if we just wanted an extra agent next round. It doesn't seem like anyone's going to fight super hard for this. So I could go to, like, I don't know, Carthag. Get an intrigue card, put a troop in, win the combat. And then we're not playing diplomacy, and that seems overall worse. I guess we'll have 2 agents to faction next round. It's not, like, terrible. It's not good. I think getting rid of the dagger makes the most sense here. We've got good cards. We want to see more of them. Especially if we want to make some kind of Carino Genes combo work. And 5 is the magic number, so we can either get the embedded agent or we could blow the row up, and we'll be happy with either situation, most likely. We get to 3. I actually think either Beast or Helena is going to buy the pheromones. Maybe not. Beast isn't doing it. So we're not going to win the combat because we don't have any daggers in hand. I think that's why Selective was the play, because if we drew Stilgar, not only would we have a lot of persuasion, we would also... Okay, so you just bought the replacement eyes to be a jerk. Is that what I'm hearing here? So the question is, like, is Embedded Agent better than just Road Detonation? I think Embedded Agent is good because we have a Chome Delegate. So we have a bunch of money that we can use to spend at these green spaces like Dreadnought and things like that, or Mentat. Yes, we could, roll into a TM. But the replacement eyes is already gone. The Thufir's already gone. The Esmar's already gone. The top picks for 5 are... The Stilgar's gone. So I think we're better off just kind of going with Embedded Agent, even though it doesn't have faction. I'll go ahead and take these pheromones. Ugh. Well, to be fair, we've made basically no research progress, so I don't know that Infiltrator would actually even be that good. Although I guess... How often do you get to the end of it anyway? Oh, Breakthrough's pretty decent. Okay, so... Here's all our cards. I think we probably want to play Stilgar to Fremen. It's just kind of the most efficient thing to do. Like, 2 water is pretty good. We have a lot of... Actually, we probably just want to pick up the tech. The techs are strong, and there's several of them. Mimic Orders with the card we just picked up should be pretty decent, too. So let's do that. We also need to start making our way up guild if we want to... be able to use our little delegate. Okay. Let's buy this guy, go up on guild. Doesn't hurt to keep that out of the hands of other players too. Leto having that's probably a free point for him, so yeah. Certainly Guild Bankers is strong. Yeah. So, I think we probably bite the bullet and go High Council here. We could do the Diplomacy Selective thing again. I just don't know what value that has, besides getting us a round 4 Spicemas Flow, which seems excessive. I think we want to open here with this to get that taken care of, so now next round we can hit Interstellar. And it also gives us more faction bumps to use for the Mimic Orders. Then if we want to hit High Council, we can. It allows us to detonate for Kwisatz, detonate for Chome Directorship, detonate for Full-Scale Assault. It's basically guaranteed we get the row that we currently have plus the next row to find something good. Beast's Biceps is interesting because he has almost no influence with anybody right now. So it offers him the ability to just completely focus to high... Damn it. Combats and nothing else. Okay, so we're not actually going to get to 8 this round. Helena kind of beat us to that one. Now here's something interesting. Nobody is in the combat. Beast will surely go in. But at the moment, it's pretty empty. So I think it's like Stilgar still suits here. Sure, we could do like Hardy, but that's foolish. Hardy does not beat Beast. If we had a different city card, we could reveal Stilgar, and that would be good, but we can't do that. Does Helena have Esmar again? We don't know. Probably not, but we don't know. Next round, we are probably guaranteed to get Interstellar. Well, we are guaranteed to get Interstellar next round. We just don't want to draw the Delegate because we want to have him next round. Which probably won't be an option. Fortunately for Beast, this combat is not worth a point. But he can probably find other ways to make it useful. Helena at 7 cards in hand. I guess she's going for the Spice Must Flow. I don't know what else she could really do here. I think we just don't detonate. We just buy the Smuggler's Thopter. We have the 2 on Guild already. We also have a consistent generation engine for water, so we can use that Thopter on Great Flat with some decent amount of consistency. I think we have a decent shot of getting the Highliner for round 7. Although the Smuggler's Scepter doesn't have faction. Was there a faction card I could have bought instead? No. Guild Bankers, but it got ringed away. I could have broke through and bought the Infiltrator. I don't know that that's all that necessary. Like, at this point, I think we're just buying Scarabs, right? Trusair would be very good for us, though. Helena definitely has the Esmar. Blows it up. Trusair again, and the Voice, and she's got the Esmar and the SMF. Yep, she's the threat. We knew it. Did she throw out Esmar and then draw him again? No, she didn't. But she actually did not buy the SMF. She bought the Guild Bankers and the Shifting. I think that's probably the overall better long-term play for her. Gurney's now in play. I think I still prefer Trusair because it both works with our Embedded Agent and it also works with our Beguiling Pheromones. And, like, if we have 5 Persuasion and we get these 2, that's better than having 6 and getting Gurney, I think. Oh, it's on top. Okay. We need to draw a card. Probably we open, like, we do this to start. So I guess we're going to go Research Station here. It'll give us the research that we want, and it'll also draw us into the pheromones to use with the Crenogenes. We're going to draw one of Embedded Agent or Thufir, which is fine. We'd like to hit High Council here, but we don't have the green. So we're just... Yeah, we don't have the green. If we draw Embedded Agent, I could min tap potentially. That would be nice. I don't know if that's better than just revealing the thing. Guild bank rate is pretty nothing, so we can just kind of relax on this combat. The Mendet didn't last very long, and that's to be fair, that's reasonable. Against this crowd, we would expect that it wouldn't. Leto basically is going to snatch it up every chance he gets. Okay, he goes Swordmaster instead. So we could, instead of going Research Station, we could just go Arakeen and get the pheromones themselves. I don't know that we need to also draw an Intrigue card. But I think the Research makes it more efficient for our click here, metaphorically speaking. So let's do it like this. Let's go ahead and take the Scarab that we need, the pheromones, and the embedded agent. Okay. Thufir next round, I like that. Gives us a lot of options. Going to Research Station also increases the odds that we redraw the Delegate next round. Oh, we can't do the Beguiling Pheromones Carino Genes because wealth is blocked. I should have thought about that. Nobody ever actually goes to wealth, so I was a little bit surprised. To be fair, we can still graft them together for a Scarab. It just can't be to wealth. It just has to be like to a city, which is kind of annoying, but it's not the end of the world. Playing those two costs us 2 persuasion, and if we do it to like Arakeen, we pick up Thufir, which is 1 persuasion. So we get down to 4, basically. It's enough to get the Truthsayer, so it's not the end of the world, but it is annoying. It seems that we're not going to get Arakeen. It's fine. We can go Carthag, but then we're starting to really press ourselves on intrigues. There's nothing wrong with... There she goes again, using our... Oh, just drop the Guild Administrator. Okay, it's not quite so bad. There's nothing wrong with using our Breakthrough. We could use it to trash a card. Like the Dagger. Although we still kind of need to get to green, so I'd prefer to use it like to trash the Reconnaissance, I think. Elena's destroying us, I think. Not much to be done about it, though. Okay, so I do think we want to do this graft, because the Scarab is just worth it. So it has to be kind of to here. Which I'm not in love with. Especially with how bad the combat is. So Expedite is interesting. The problem is that we just don't have a use for the Solari. Like, okay, we get High Council, then what? Dreadnoughts, I guess? This is not limited in how you can use it, so I probably should save it and just play the Breakthrough instead. I mean, we could have economic supremacy, you never know. I think the troop is more valuable. But again, Beguiling Pheromones, as always, disappoints. Always disappoints. At least it did provide a Scarab this time, so it's hard to complain too much. Shimurki. I do think we want to use this since if we had even a single more specimen, we would want to go this direction, try to get this spice, but we're one specimen short. If we draw like the specimen card or the Scarab card, that changes our play here, but I think we want to research on reveal to trash to improve our consistency on our deck, getting rid of the reconnaissance. No other ways. Okay. So, Truthsayer is the very clear pick here. We do the breakthrough. We do the trash. Wait, what? Oh, if we go this way, we actually do, hold on. We actually do get the spice. Okay, right, because we do this. And that puts us over the edge to buy Scarabs. Which I think makes it worth it. Yeah, we don't get to trash the reconnaissance, but 2 spice, I think I'll take it. And it's more Scarabs in the long run, most likely. You can go this direction instead of having to go like this, which is kind of awkward. Yeah, we have 9 Solari. I just don't think we need this combat in any way. Helena did a very early reveal to get that SMF, though. She didn't spend 2 agents, so I actually think she might be behind Leto. What does Leto have going for him? No techs. What has he been buying? Sister. Breakthrough. Okay, breakthrough, yeah. So he's actually at like 7 right now. So yeah, so he is in the lead for sure. Although Helena has the momentum, I think. Because she has the guild bankers and she also has the holo projectors on the Esmar. I think Beast is in last, although he can potentially come back with combat points. Which, he's going to be very, very good at the combats. Like, me getting Highlander is probably not going to be sufficient to beat him. There's a graft for our Carino Genes, potentially. Well, Beguiling Pheromones is going to be useful here. It finally came through, didn't it? So I guess we're just going to go to faction like a million times. We're going to get that Mimicorus to go off. This is also pretty good because it doesn't have Big Gesserit, which means that the Truthsayer and the Embedded Agent are more likely to show up in the next hand together. We're in round 6, so I don't know how to evaluate things at the moment. Like, I don't know. I'm functionally at 5 because of the Know Their Ways, which is not a lot to have in round 6, to be honest. But my opponents have 4 and 5, so that would put me in the middle of the pack. You can say Beast has 5, but that's not how it's going to be in practice. Eventually, he's going to visit faction. So, this is irrelevant. I mean, don't get me wrong. Spy satellites will be worth points to him. The question is whether or not he's going to be able to mobilize those spy satellites into an advantage in some other way. If we can find a way to draw, we have access to interstellar shipping, which I think I'd like. Perhaps Thufir to selective. Problem is we don't have a card to trash. Thufir himself draws a card. We don't have to play him to selective. I don't think anyone's going to take wealth, but I also can't really risk that someone does. So I think it has to be our first play. So we're actually kind of winning on Scarabs right now. It's a little bit weird. We can use the Expedite as a combat trick here if we want to. Whether or not that's the correct play, I don't know, but we can do it. So maybe that means we play like Thufir to like Hardy Warriors. It over-invests on Fremen a little bit, but we need the third influence on Fremen for the Mimic Orders anyway. Problem is that Stilgar can already do that. Sure, Beguiling Pheromones to steal, but that's only if we actually get the Beguiling Pheromones again. And we have a 12-card deck ahead of us. Sure, the Fold Space and the Smuggler's Thopter, those take care of 3 of those cards, but it's not that simple. I think I like the idea of Reveal Stilgar here, because we need to start picking up some combat points. And we think that as the game goes on, Beast is going to become unstoppable in combat. So if we can sneak a point in here, that may be better than the 0 points we get if we try to wait and compete with him later. So Wind Traps is making it very clear what he's trying to do. Hollow Projectors on Helena again. Good grief. There is the selective. She takes the Bene Gesserit Alliance. And that's probably going to stay in her hand forever, because she's got a shifting as well. Did she trash? What did she trash? Trash to convincing. Yeah. I guess Helena's kind of crushing the game right now. If I go Hardy, you know, Beast is going to see that as a challenge, basically. That's kind of the problem. And I think if he wants to challenge me, he can. He's got the Highliner Spice. It would be dumb of him to go Highliner now, wouldn't it? Well, if he thinks he can win the next combat without it, then maybe not. I'm still thinking that Hardy is the play. There's our delegate. Like, we have to start putting some pressure on Helena. So Guild, I guess. We have the second wave if we need it. So let's just do this. Which I guess makes the expedite kind of pointless. Is Delegate better than playing Diplomacy to, like, secrets? I think so. The thing is, the Delegate does require us to go back to the shipping track to get value out of him. But, I mean, it's troops and it's resources. And we could go Highlander right now and just try to use that to challenge Helena. Right. I mean, it's useless from the perspective of Mimic Orders. And she's obviously going to react to that. And we're not going to get the Beguiling for a while, so I don't think that makes any sense. Like, we're sitting on 6 spice. So, shouldn't we just try to use it next round? The problem is that I don't think we win the combat next round. And Leto also has a lot of spice. Flagship would be the ideal thing to do with it, but we can't afford it. I guess what we should have done is we should have saved our expedite. We should have gone, waited to go to Delegate, and then get the flagship. I think. So at least we forced her to reinforce Guild, where, like, this doesn't hurt me. I need this for Mimic Orders anyway, but it does hurt Helena, because she could have taken that with Emperor and been at 8 points. So we have 1 draw from Ring, 1 from Truesayer, 2 from Smuggler's Supper, and 1 from Full Space. So we're going to churn through this deck pretty quickly, even though it's kind of big. He bought the flagship, right? Yeah. New tech is invasion ships. Yeah. I just wish I'd been able to mobilize this Solari earlier. Like, losing that High Council to Helena kind of hurt. I think he's going to full commit on this because... Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. So, like, right now, Stilgar takes us to 11. Second wave does allow us to jump him if he doesn't have more. I think we need either this point or the next one. But we probably can't have both. But he's going to have those Dreadnoughts back, so, like, I don't know, man. If he wins this one, at least he's down on Dread, hypothetically. But if the combat takes place on his turf, then it's not great. He shouldn't get an SMF this time. Just prepping with liaisons. The problem with this combat is the second place is so useless. The Stilgar jumps us up. HPT is interesting. It's not actually bad for Paul at this stage. It doesn't work with any of the other combos, so I don't think I want it. We can only play so many 8 cards. So the agent box doesn't come up, and the reveal's not good. So I think that answer to that kind of is pretty clear. So we're just not going to buy anything here. We'll play the second wave. Or not. Or Beast will just have the Worm Riders in hand. Okay. Well, there's always better luck next time. But we're not going to win the next combat either. He's like, dude, he's got Gurney, he's got Worm Riders, he's got freaking training drones. I don't know, man. The whole point of going Hardy Warriors was just to get Thufir to draw me a card so I could go to Interstellar Shipping. So it's not like the end of the world, but it is annoying. Mimic Orders requires 1 more on Fremen, 2 more on BG, and that's it. Well, perhaps we should concern ourselves more with taking Helena's alliances. I don't know. Okay, so the gruesome actually puts us back in the money here, potentially. And it was a reasonable play from him as well. We do this, so currently we're at 11, right? We go up, up. It's a little bit overkill, but we need, because we have 17. But we need to protect ourselves against like a cannon turrets or a tiebreaker or something. So, yeah. So now we join the 7 Club. We get a flag, which might come in handy. Nope. Well, the good news is Beast shouldn't have much trouble winning the combat. Which we kind of need because the other leaders really can't be allowed to. Especially Helena. If she were to win the combat, then I think she would just end the game this round. Where's she at on Scarabs? Yeah, she's not quite there. She's tied with me somehow. Where's she getting all her Scarabs from? It's not telling me. Yeah, so she uses Esmore to lock up Guild, which is fine. Like I said, we just wanted to scare her a little bit. We didn't actually want to take it. We do want to try to take Fremen potentially, but not that one. Emperor is pretty safe. No one's going to want to take that. The Mentat is logical, unfortunately. We did not draw a second Bene Gesserit card. And we do not have the water to hit Research Station. Experimentation, what's it give us? It gives us basically nothing. Well, I think we want experimentation. Or, not experimentation. I think we want smuggling. We kind of want Arakeen, too. I don't know, there's kind of a lot that we need here. Problem is that Helena wants smuggling, so we have to go smuggling. We need to do this. Going this way is not good for now, but it sets us up better for the future. Like, we don't need the Solari, we just don't. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the tech could be useful. But we don't get it unless the game goes in the round. So I think it is going another round. So I think we have to go up here. We don't have any immediate application for the things that we would get from the track. So I think it is just go up here. And we're guaranteed either smuggling or interstellar shipping next round. Anyway. We can use No Other Ways with it like this to potentially steal Fremen, right? Yeah. Go for it, Beast. This is what you were made to do. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got spy satellites. I don't want you to have this. Like, technically you're at 6 points, but you know what? We're at 7 and 8, so we can deal with it. I've been really locked out of the Mentat this game. I have a lot of resources, but I've been unable to mobilize them into an advantage. I think that's been the problem with this game. Okay. So she goes down on Guild and just basically gets a free point out of that from Fremen, I guess. Basin is the only space she can go if she wants to use that effect. So let's talk about Arakeen. What does it give us? Experimentation's fine. We're never making the Truthsayer thing work with the embedded agent. It's not happening. We're not getting a Spiceless Flow. I don't think Arakeen actually makes that much sense for us. So Leto's going to go to 9 now. So I think Leto's probably on track here. He could even win this round. He doesn't have enough Solari for High Council. So let's do this, I guess, and get the Chimerki. I don't know. Having the spice for next run is valuable, because we know we're going to have guild access, so maybe we shouldn't buy the Chimerki. But the game is close, and when the game is close, having Chimerki can be really valuable. But the problem is, Leto's either going to have it or he doesn't. I think it's this. I just don't know if we buy a tech or not. I think I'm going to do it. This gives us outs. We probably are not going to beat Beast's War Engine anyway. Okay. The favored subject is pretty nothing, but the Water Peddlers Union is decent. Would I have been better off going Dreadnought? Well, I end up with one fewer spice, but that probably doesn't matter. Snoopers is interesting here because these cards don't provide a lot of immediate benefit, and we're going to get a lot more. So Snoopers can potentially be good. But the Dreadnought itself I don't think matters. The game is not going to round 9, so it's a very small force advantage in a combat I'm not winning anyway. And I don't think playing around Grand Conspiracy makes any sense here. So I do have the experimentation in hand. You know, I can use that to either try to steal Fremen unsuccessfully. I can use it to get to 2 water. I don't know. That could be better than going High Council. Like, this is valuable. Alternatively, we just do this and get a point. That actually requires us to research, and I don't know that we're going to be doing a whole lot of that. Our next hand does not have any research in it, so why would we think we're researching? Does she ever guild bankers? We have to assume she does. So she's probably at like 9 points with Leto. Unless we can see these two fight over something. Trashing the ring is crazy. Okay, so which one helps us hit the Mimic Quarters better? Well, definitely the experimentation. High Council is useful for a small set of intrigue cards that we could have. We could also go to Snoopers at Dreadnought and just go to like 5 intrigues. Try to get to Plans Within Plans. Plans Within Plans probably does win us the game. So we could just make a strategy around getting to that. This is more valuable than this. So it might make sense to do this like that. We're never using the Solari, so we might as well do this, right? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and pop know their ways. The other cards here are not useful. Harvest Cells could hypothetically give us a point from Scarabs. But I think that when we're trying to dig for plans within plans, we should just dig for plans within plans. So I think we drop both of these. Water Peddler's Union I'm undecided on. It's hypothetically access to Hardy again. If our play is like we have to steal from Leto, maybe, you know. I think our path lies through BG right now. BG Mimic Orders. I don't know. Okay. Oh, now Beast can challenge him a little bit. But again, I'm actually more worried about Helena. Because I think Helena's got an SMF, but he does not. Yeah, she does. It looks like she's also got probably another Scarab point. Sooner or later. She's got more intrigues. She's the overall, she's the bigger threat. Reinforcing Fremen. So, let's reveal what's our intrigue. It's illicit dealings. That's a very good, actually. Because that just gives us a new one. Urgent mission is strong, but it's a little bit awkward. So planned coupling works well with the pheromones, but playing it decreases the odds that we get the pheromones, probably. I guess not, because we draw it, we immediately play it, unless we're drawing it basically on like our second action. We need the access, so why not? And I think we just drop all of these. I think we drop all of them. The urgent mission is good. It is good. It's probably another faction bump. So I guess we drop the other three. The Harvest Cells now is probably a point. So just drop these two. This is too hard to use. Yes, Leto can kind of screw us at secrets. So, we didn't get what we wanted. Secret Forces is bad. Blackmail is hypothetically a very important card, but probably not. And Tactician is probably bad. So, I actually think we made our hand worse. We have a Dreadnought now, and Beast will have one fewer, so maybe we can fight him, but we don't have Highliner Spice. I don't think it's going to work out. Good news is this hand draws like crazy. Bad news is we're not going to know what we're going to draw because of this. We have the Paul problem, basically. Blows it up. Why didn't I do that? I forgot I had this. No, it wouldn't have given me anything particularly useful. One troop, I guess, is not too bad. If there is good news here, it's that Helena's going to go last next round. So sure, her spaces that she needs are going to be hard to get to. And she has 2 SMFs now, maybe 3. 2. So her deck quality is going to also decrease. There's the Air Keen bonus, so that does give us a chance to win this combat, I think. Highliner immediately. Okay. Highliner from Leto is easier to beat than a Highliner from Beast. I'll say that much. So I guess Smuggler's Thopter. Spice. The texts don't matter anymore. There were texts that did matter and they're gone. So I kind of don't even want invasion ships because it screws with our ability to hit selective. Disposal. Not the ideal timing, but we really can't lose the blackmail here. And besides, we can always just get back to Interstellar with the Delegate. But it's the main problem is it's a huge gift to Helena that we don't need to be giving her. But I think if Leto goes to Secrets on us and we don't do that, we just lose the game. So Thufir is cool to have. But we really wanted Pheromones, and that's not what we have. We also don't have Embedded Agent either. Mentat's our next priority. We can Trueslayer to discard the Delegate for basically no benefit. We can also make something out of Secret Forces by going to High Council. But I don't think that means that we should expect that we're going to get a Spice as well. You know, we only need 1 bump with BG for the Mimic Orders. We could just go to Selector to Interstellar with Delegate, and we're guaranteed there. We don't have to actually go to the spot. I think Helena is looking a little bit weak on that track. Because right now we can go to both the spaces plus Interstellar, potentially, if she doesn't reinforce it. Obviously, that's not how it's going to shake out, because she is going to reinforce. Unfortunately, we don't have any research. We can top deck the research with experimentation, but I don't know if that's necessary. It could help us steal something. Shuttle Fleet, she's getting a point from Fremen with that. Then she's protecting herself on BG, probably effectively. I could have really used that Shuttle Fleet. Just bad timing, I guess. So if I go like 1, 2 here, Interstellar, I can't steal it. So, what is my plan for actually getting in the combat here? And by what is my plan, I mean, is it even possible for me to have a plan that would work? Well, I can get a point if I research. So Mentat is the play here for sure. So we do Trueslayer to Mentat, no questions asked. We want to drop the Delegate, I think. I don't know. It kind of does provide us with an extra faction bump on demand of the faction that we like as late in the round as we like it. So I think it's better to discard the Reconnaissance. There's our second BG. It's too bad that we didn't get the pheromones or the agent. Or Stilgar, for that matter. But Thufir could give us an intrigue card that makes a difference. You never know. We're going to have a lot of agent actions this round. That means not a Spice Mist flow, but we weren't going to get that anyway. The ideal is that we draw this planned coupling and play it to Bene Gesserit with the experimentation to get our Scarab point. So to do that, we need to play Signet Ring, I think. Does Helena have the Guildmakers again? Presumably she shuffled and we don't know. But she's just a Scarab point away from having 11, which all she needs to do is have an experimentation, basically. Although she probably doesn't have one. We're going to be playing for a while after everybody else has passed. At least 2 actions by the looks of it. Is Secret Forces High Council a thing here? Well, we only get 3 agents. Where's our fold space going? We're not using the spice for anything. So why not selective? Get rid of the Thopter. And we might actually have a chance at a Spice Mist flow. And that guarantees us the Mimic Orders. Hey, there's the pheromones. We might be able to steal with that. Maybe. It's kind of a long shot, but depending on what Helena does, it is possible. The problem right now is that we really can't let Leto win the combat. Or can't we? Because if he wins the combat, he goes to 11, and we can beat him. We might be able to beat him on Tiebreaker. I don't know. We'll see. Stilgar on top is pretty good. That basically means that we're gonna get the SMF. Without having to go to High Council. Looks like Helena did not have the research. She wisely burns an intrigue card because she knows I'm going to secrets. So it looks like I did end up stealing her alliance unless she's got a card. But why do I care about stealing from Helena now? She's probably got fewer points than Leto. And I guess maybe I care because it's a point for me. But the loss of a point to Helena probably does not matter to me. Even still, planned coupling to experimentation to secrets is just a good play. Ignoring everything else. Strong Arm is very good here. Now we're at 10. We're at 11 once we steal her alliance. We're at 12 once you count the SMF. Although, we're actually 1 persuasion short in SMF. Okay, so how do we fix that? Alternatively, is there a way for us to beat 23 daggers? Because really we have to care about Leto's score, I think, here. I mean, it's true that... Okay, Helena's actually just going to prevent this from happening. That's unfortunate. I don't think there was a way we could have stopped that. So, they're both at 11. I break all the ties, though. If I take Embedded Agent to High Council, I get the SMF. I also get the Interstellar Shipping effect, which admittedly does not matter at this stage. So we've in hand we've got 5, 9, 12 daggers. Stilgar is an additional 3, so 15 daggers. So we can make that 17. Pheromones is cool, but we can't steal alliances at this point. Or can we? We cannot. We cannot. I actually think there's a chance we just win the combat here. But if we try to win the combat, we're costing ourselves an SMF, but who cares? So let's do the math on that. So what's the most combat maximizing space? It's Still Suits. We go Still Suits with Thufir. We don't get the SMF, but we do put in our Dreadnought and we put in a troop. That is +5. We go from 5 to 7. 7 to 12. 15. Let's do it. Tiebreaker. Okay. The game's ending this round, so Treachery is funny, but it doesn't work because we can't trash it. So let's buy the quiz. That's to say that we did. Let's trash the delegate for reasons. We're at 11 right now. I think we can beat Leto here. As long as he doesn't have a combat card, I think we actually have the numbers on him. Entry card casino, baby. Cigar is still. No! Does Beast win now? 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Oh, he does. Unless we can get a good card. Wait, no. But then we just beat Leto, I think. So this is actually ideal for us. Because we're at 11, right? No, we're not. We have Mimic Orders. Where's our second point? We're at 10. Because we missed that SMF. I think if I had just gone for the SMF, I would have won. One dagger. No, it's 5 daggers. Well, it depends on what entry cards we get. Anything that gives you, like, a point from Solari, we would still win the game. Nope. Nope. Damn close, though.